Are you trying to figure out what you need to do with your life? Are you stuck at a job and you don't know what to do next? By the end of this video, you're going to realize what you need to do to fill that void and how you are actually attracting everything that you want and the answer to all of the questions that you have. And you're doing this whether you're conscious of it or not. So be careful what you're asking for. It's coming up next. You need more, kid. Get a goal, then you add it to your chore list. Find your inner passion, then you find your focus. Every day, step by step, give your all. So nothing left, gotta dedicate every breath and no hesitate. All right, third time. So, you are trying to figure out what you should do with your life. And you're feeling frustrated and you're feeling just uncomfortable. So, this is the thing. This is why you're feeling that way, okay? Listen, let me slow down because I want you guys to listen. So, you're feeling that way because what you are going through is a transition. Now, usually transitions comes with some discomfort, some frustration, some type of pain, right? So whether it's you at a point in your life and you don't know what to do next and you're transitioning, okay? So just like when your teeth going in, your wisdom tooth, something is transitioning, it always comes with some type of pain and discomfort. So if you're aware of that, now you could it should make you a little bit less frustrated because you know that it's something on the other side of that. And what's on the other side of that is what you're actually looking for. Listen to everything I just said. Well, you already listened to it, but now it's going to transition me into what I'm going to say next, which is the whole secret. It's a secret, but it's not really so secret because Jesus told us this a long time ago. It's called the Sermon on the Mount. Now, I'm not just saying this because it's in the Bible or nothing like that. I'm telling you this because it was a epiphany of a revelation for me, and it's how I discovered what I wanted to do in life. And not only how I discovered it, but once I actually started implicating it, it just kept applying itself to help me get to the next step. It was like a domino effect, and it's always happened. It's almost like the law of attraction, but here it is. It's ask, seek, knock. That's it. That's what you're doing. You watching this video, you are already participating in it. You're in the process right now. So even though you don't feel good about, where you at right now, woosah, woosah, because you finna get it. You're about to get it. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I believe that the more you ask, the more you seek, what you're looking for, it'll appear faster because obviously you're doing it more and more. But either way, it's going to happen as long as you keep asking, you keep seeking, you don't settle for where you at, and you don't want to do that because then you're going to end up getting depressed. You don't want that. So that'll be a whole nother problem. So you're almost there. So ask, seek, knock. Ask and you shall receive. Seek, you shall find. Knock, and the door will be open unto you. Matthew chapter 7, verse 7. Check it out. It's not about religion, but it's the truth. It happened for me. It's happening for everybody, whether you're conscious of it or not. If you look at your life, everything that you have right now and today, at some point, did you ask for it? Like, whether it's in your heart or wherever you at in your life, this principle is always applying. So I'm going to just go ahead and get into a little bit of my story. I don't even like telling my story because then I got to go back to all of that crap. So basically, I was working at this job that I hated. Don't make me do this. I was working at this job. I couldn't stand this job. And I wanted to make more money for my family to get us in a better place, get the stuff that everybody wants, some cables, some clothes, a better car, all of that stuff. But I realized that I don't want to come to this place every day. It sucked. I wasn't doing nothing with my time except just pretty much showing up and do like an hour or two of labor, and the rest of that I just have to be there just doing nothing. But I can't leave until 8 hours are over. And that was my life. Cleaning toilets, nasty ass toilets. That was my life every day, every night actually. I was working nights, 10 o'clock to 6:30 in the morning. And it took me about 35 minutes to drive there and back. So it was horrible. So I didn't have any skills. I didn't go to college. I didn't have any degrees. I'm like, man, they paying me decently. You know, it's not Pizza Hut money no more. It's post office money. So, man, but hitting that wall, it's like I ain't know what to do next. You know, this is where it started for me, guys. This is why I'm telling you. I didn't know what to do next. So I hit that wall, and that led me into some deep depression. Like I'm talking about, I'm already an introvert, so I'm going to work. I ain't talking to people. I'm just like, I don't know. So what I began doing eventually, asking, I was asking in my heart. I'm like, man, what, I can't do this. I don't want to settle. I can't settle for this. Like I thought that shit was going to kill me. Like literally, I thought I was going to get cancer. I was telling myself, this gotta be how people get cancer. Cause it felt like death. Like I felt like a walking zombie. Not even just cause I was working nights, but it's like I was on autopilot. I'm like, why am I doing this? To pay bills at this damn mobile home that I don't even want to stay in. And the shit just didn't make sense to me. Like I stopped making music. Like what I was doing before, what I was passionate about and everything. I was making music, and that was like my big dream, kind of like a dream, but I wasn't putting my all into it. But when I did, I was passionate about it. I'm like, man, if I want to do anything, this is what I want to do. But once I started working that job, that stuff started, pretty much I wasn't doing it no more. And that's sad, even to this day, man. Like I had so much stuff in me. They say the wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard, right? Because that's where everybody dreams at. So I don't want that to be you. So like I said, you watching this video, you're going to be aware of what it is you want to do. So when that comes, have the courage to go that route, because it's not always easy. Like once you realize it, don't think that it's necessarily going to be another smooth transition into it. No, you might have to build some courage into it. But anyway, yeah, I was working at the job, and then my music thing stopped, and I was going through this depression. But I began asking the universe, God, for a way out. Now you can ask through your actions, you can ask through prayer. As long as you're doing something, you're not just this physical body. So if you asking through your spirit, if you're doing something, you asking, and then you start to seek. Like I start actively seeking. I start like reading articles. I read my first book. I was 26. The book was Steve Harvey's book. Act like a success, think like a success, or something like that. Think like a success, act like a success, something like that. That was my first book I read. So as you can see, I'm actively seeking out a way out. Like I'm looking for it. I was 26. That's the age that I'm finding a lot of people get to, around 25, 26. They start to wake up to the world and start to ask questions. That's exactly what they do. They ask questions. They ask like, what is this? I don't get it. Like, why am I listening to this? Why does this work like this? Why do I got to do this? You're asking the universe. And then you realize that those answers start coming to you. Okay. Like I was depressed than a motherfucker. Okay. I'm talking about, look, I was depressed. I went through I did my little grateful journal. I started journaling and everything to get over it. But while I'm doing all this, I'm depressed, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't easy for me. All right, and I was in it for a little while. And so yeah, as you can see, I was asking, then I was seeking articles, books, TED Talks, and I started like getting, I didn't know at the time, but it was pretty much personal development stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking a lot about my story, I know. But it was pretty much personal development stuff. And then I started taking courses, and after that, seminars, knocking on doors to opportunities. I started seeing different opportunities that I could actually do to make a living. And at the beginning, when I first got the job at the post office, like I said, I was trying to earn more money to support my family or whatever. And then it got to a point where I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to get out this job and still be able to live, because that felt like death. I just knew I was going to get some type of disease or be walking around limping like everybody else. Like, it was horrible. Like, it breaks your body down. It breaks your mind down. You go home, you taking out all your frustrations and your stresses on your family, and then you go right back before you get a chance to breathe. It's horrible. But as I began to ask, seek, knock, I started to literally realize what I wanted to do next. And it's like, what it was everything. It was me it's pretty much me expressing myself in the world as me without having to change nothing. Yes, I would need to become more, learn more, personal development basically. But it's like, man, this is exactly what I want to do, how I want to do it. And it's providing me everything that I want, It's like, it's a possibility. I saw it. Now, was it going to be easy? Hell no, it wasn't going to be easy. It's not easy. But if you keep asking, if you keep seeking, if you keep knocking, it's a domino. It's going to keep coming. You just have to believe in the process. Like I said, you're watching this video, you're already in the process. Now, there's not one piece of information or one video or one article or one book that you're going to read you're going to read it and the next day, boom. No. If it is, I don't know about it. But the thing is, everything that you consume, or like everything that you seek and that you get and you consume it somehow or however it may be, it's a piece to the puzzle. So now to finally get into the video, I'm going to give you a lot of pieces to the puzzle that'll hopefully, kind of accelerate you to figuring out what it is you're going to be doing in your life. That's going to bring you fulfillment, passion, and all of that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 tips, and then I'm going to ask you 5 questions. Well, you got to take the questions and answer them yourself, but take some time to do this. All right, y'all, it's worth it. It's worth it because the way you feel. So take some time to do this. It's going to be kind of fun, but it's going to feel like some homework. But anyway, do it. I'm going to get a drink of water. I'm going to check all of my cameras, and I'm going to be back with these questions.
Like gods and we talk like gods with that power in our hands. Said we must be gods and we walk like gods and we talk like gods with that power in our hands.
We're back. So the first thing that I'm going to talk to you about is self-awareness. Gary Vaynerchuk. All right, we know Gary Vaynerchuk, how great he is, right, at what he do. What he do? He's doing something amazing. Like, he's pretty much doing what all of us is doing, but he's doing it 24/7, and he's documenting it. It's crazy. And he's been doing this stuff for years. But beyond that, he always talk about the most important thing that anybody could do to find their thing is to become as self-aware as you can of like what you are, who you are, like pretty much what you're good at. And mostly everything that I'm going to talk about is going to have to do something with being self-aware. Once you're self-aware, that's when you know your natural gifts, your natural talents, the regular stuff. You even know your personality, you know how you learn, the best ways that you learn, and like you even know like your weaknesses and stuff that you don't like, stuff that you should stay away from. This stuff comes with time, and it just comes again, ask, seek, knock. Like, just keep asking. All right. People talk about the law of attraction, but same thing. This is just more like how it actually happens. You ask, you seek, you knock, keep it top of mind. Don't forget about it. Like, don't just stop and just say fuck it. Nothing like that. Because that's when you're going to mess yourself up. All right. And you don't want to mess yourself up. So self-awareness, it's all about your natural gifts and your talents. What are you smarter and better at than most people? All right. That'll give you a good clue. Like, I knew that I was I don't want to say it because it is like ego stuff, but at least like my peers, feel like I was smarter and better at stuff. Definitely stuff when it came to technology and computers. I been knew that. Everybody knew that. Like when they needed help, Caesar, computers, finances. Caesar, you're good with money. Like you moved out 20, paid bills, bought cars. How did you do it? You always had good credit. We couldn't get loans. How did you do it? It's just how it was. All right. So math, stuff like that. Knew I was good at that stuff. So those are my main things. And another thing, I didn't realize this until a little later on, but like ideas. And knowing that now, it's like, duh. Because what I did was, I'm going to talk about this a little later. I took a personality test, and that's my personality type. That's what we do. All right, my personality type, Albert Einstein. Okay, it's literally. But anyway, what are you good at, smarter at than most people that you know? All right, so another thing you can do is ask your close friends and family, because maybe you don't know, but they definitely know. If they know you, they know you. Like I said, people was asking me certain things. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So that's number one. Number two is, dang, I'm supposed to be having this. Like, hold up. My bad. Let's make it pretty. That's self-awareness. So number two. Well, I'm sorry. Let me back up a little bit. What I want you to do to help you. All right. First of all, I didn't even tell you. I'm going to link everything that I talk about in this video is going to be linked in the description below. Make sure you read that description and click on the links, okay? And fill them out. This is homework, all right? This is an assignment. Myers-Briggs type indicator. Best personality type. Best personality test there is. Hands down. More accurate than horoscopes. More accurate than the disc. All of them. Take it. You're going to thank me. If you never took this before, you're going to thank me. Take it. Answer honestly. All right. Not honest as far as like what you wish the answer would be, but how you would actually respond in the certain situations that they give you. All right. It's going to be linked in the description below. I'm not going to verbalize it because I told you to look in the description. So take this test. All right. And number two is to define your why. The best way I like to describe this is make your mess your message. What is something that you overcame that was hurting you, and it kind of makes you passionate about it, and you kind of want to help other people overcome that same pain or a similar type of pain. All right. Why? WHY also could be what hurts you. You see how that works? Now that'll give you like some natural passion. We're going to talk about passion a little later on, because some people see passion as like, oh yes, I'm passionate about, I don't know, music, or I'm passionate about movies, or I'm passionate about whatever, kind of like external things. But when you trying to find your labor of love, you want to find something that you're passionate about that's more internal. I'm going to talk about later how you can really kind of see and find that internal passion, because everybody's passionate about a lot of that external stuff. And realistically, you can't just necessarily just, oh, I'm passionate about this, that's what I'm going to go for. All right. I mean, you can, but you don't need to. Okay. You really don't. But anyway, what's next? I want you to start journaling. If you I don't have a journal by me, but this is what got me through my depression. This is what helped me in my business. This is what helped me with all these ideas. Journal. Just get a notebook, journal. All of this stuff that I'm talking about now, you can write it in a journal. Any ideas that you have, you can write it in a journal. When you're feeling depressed, you want somebody to talk to, don't go to Facebook, write it in a journal. Journal. I'm not lying to you. Get a notebook. Start journaling. Learn about mind maps. When you taking notes, your personal development stuff, have it all in there. Sometimes you go back and look at it. You ain't got to even go back and look at it, but writing stuff down in a journal is going to do wonders for you. Number 3 is to have the courage to transition. So you're already in a transitional phase because I told you that already. But like I was saying earlier, it might not, like, whatever you want to do, it might seem so big and overwhelming. The thing is, it is big and overwhelming, but so fucking what? The time is going past regardless, okay? So, like I told you, everything is baby steps. And you want to think big. My man Haziq Ali, I always gotta say his name before I say this quote. Look, I'm gonna hear it if I don't. He say, you have to expand your mind to fit your dreams, or your dreams will begin to shrink to fit your mind. Like, look, that's a smart guy. But when he said that, I swear I thought Les Brown or somebody said it. Man, that's so real. All right. Look, it's a book called The Magic of Thinking Big. I'm not saying that you got to read that, but if you want to, it goes perfectly with that quote. But you have to have the courage to transition. Like, once you find that thing, have the courage to do it. Like, at first I said, don't be afraid to. No, you probably going to be afraid. But the thing is, you got to ignore the fear and have the courage to do it anyway. That's what I did, And the thing is, like, what you got to lose? Huh? You go stay in the same spot that you in, or just look for another opportunity when you know, like, man, that just seemed like a good opportunity, but I don't believe in myself, or I don't believe I could do something. Like, look, no, this is a trend. Like, you're going through this stuff because you are meant for something greater, and you know it. Your higher self inside of you know it. You got to let that higher self live. That's what I do all of this for. It's to show people, it's to bring people awareness to their higher selves, and so that they can live from that perspective, right? And the thing that changed my life was ask, seek, knock. Like, at the foundational level, that's all it was. So what I'm doing is for those two things right there. So have the courage to transition. What's that, number 3? All right. Wait. Okay. First, let's talk about college a little bit. So, beyond the crazy prices of college, this is how I feel about college personally. All right. So, college is cool if you want to do something that requires college. There's a lot of stuff I was thinking about when I first went to school. I was going for computer science, but I didn't know at the time. I was coming out of high school. You're not gonna know. Most people won't know what you want to do with a big portion of your life coming straight out of high school, because they telling you what to do all through high school, and it's like you ain't got no freedom of thought. And you're not really probably self-aware, none of that stuff. But when it comes to college, trade school or whatever, like, do what you want to do. Like, do it if it's required. Go to college, go to college if what you want to do requires a college education. Simple as that. And more importantly, the only reason I even brought this up is because I want to let you know that all because you go to college or you get a degree in something, you probably already know this, that don't mean that you're going to want to do it for the rest of your life. I know there's not too many things that I want to do for the rest of my life. Even though I like doing this right now, if you ask me honestly, I don't think I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want it to last. Yeah, I want it to, but as far as like do it, not in the same way. You know what I'm saying? So I might have to transition to something else. Almost like, how you got actors, then they become directors or something like that. I probably stay in this industry, but to do the same thing for the rest of my, no. So this just go back to transition, don't transition, and it's probably good to stay in the industry because that's what you knowledgeable about. That's what you got skills at and everything like that. We go talk about the zone of genius later. I hope I didn't confuse you. Yeah. The thing is though, nothing in life is linear. So the way they set up school, like preschool, kindergarten, grade school, junior high, high school, college, maybe some more college, and then a job, and then a retire. Life ain't linear like that. Like, even when internet marketers try to break stuff down into a process and stuff, I'm here to tell you, like, don't nothing work like that. Even if it look like it does, no. Life is chaos. I call it controlled chaos, right? It's like shit just happen like, but somehow it starts to form. It manifests depending on, the seeds that you planting. And that's just really how it works. So I think that went everywhere. That was not controlled chaos, but basically, don't think too much, all right? Feel. Like, all the thinking and the analytical stuff is not always good, all right? Sometimes you got to know when to be analytical, and other times you got to know when to feel, be emotional, spiritual, and just present. All right, that was better. Number 4, using passion properly. I'll be back. I want to check that camera.
Please, believe it or not, I'm a god, homie, throw it in the back. I'm a god, yeah. Wanna know what that means? As in that's all respect when I hit the scene. There's something on your mind, better make sure it's clean. Not the average human being, women flock like a fiend. Got the power, call things to be, clearly unseen. Everybody hating on me, I got the woman that they dream.
So, we got about 5 minutes. So, using passion properly. So, I'm going to quickly go over why I said this. Like I said earlier, we can be passionate about a lot of external things, but that's not usually going to get us the result that we want as far as finding work that we love to do. All right. Because I'm going to show you this diagram next where you have to mix what you're passionate about, what there's a market for, what you're good at, and all this type of stuff. And you got to go for the center. So, when I was asking myself the questions that I'm going to ask you, I had to kind of see how what I was passionate about and how it could be. See, I'm rushing. I had to see. All right, I'm going to just tell you the story. So, like I said before, I was passionate about music. So, had to think like, what about music am I passionate about? Because I knew I always liked hip hop because I grew up listening to it. I got my favorite rappers and stuff like that, and then I'm actually good at it. I felt I'm good at it. But anyway, man, when I started listening to personal development stuff, I started to realize though, like, man, this is pretty much the same thing that I was doing in my music. Like when I'm making music, I'm pretty much talking about success, underdog stuff, like how to go from being broke to having some type of better life, like just getting some better result. I wasn't talking about sometimes I was just because it's rap, but I wasn't really talking about like killing and all this stuff, pussy, money, weed. I wasn't doing too much of that. I was doing some of it, but the stuff that I was really passionate about when I was making the music, it was basically personal development stuff in a hip hop type of way. And I realized that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm passionate about success. Like, I just want people to have a better life. And then as I'm looking at personal development, and I'm like, they pretty much doing the same thing except rapping. They just talking about it or they writing about it. And the thing is, like, they doing it the way they doing it, you can be more detailed. And then also, a lot of people don't like people like J. Cole, who's really trying to give you a good message. I'm like, these people who's buying their books, watching courses, watching their YouTube videos, whatever it may be, it's like they are actively seeking out what these dudes are offering. So I'm like, I can take what I was passionate about in music and transition it into this vehicle, which is online marketing is what I do, pretty much. And yeah, so basically I'm like, this is my thing. And not only did I say I was passionate about music, I said I was also passionate about technology. So I'm using technology in some of my videos. I incorporate some of my music, and I'm still talking about success. And I'm still using those ideas that I was, to do music. It's just not rhyming anymore, but it's still my ideas to even build my business and to put my philosophies down and stuff like that. So you see how I transition that passion? So that's how you can use passion properly. Now, so what I want you to do is I want you to make a list of your passions and then make a sub list about what it is you're passionate about that passion. think about what I say. I know it probably don't make sense, but you kind of get, you understand it. So, and then once you do that, like ask yourself, like, how do you use it? Like, how do you use that passion, or how could you use what you're passionate about, in another vehicle, So also you can ask yourself, like, what did it do for you to get that passionate about it in the first place? Like, what was it? Like, why I got so passionate about music is because growing up, I didn't have like a father figure and nothing like that. And then it's like, the worldview is the worldview that you got where you were raised around and stuff like that. Even music is media, and then it still influences your brain. But I always like to listen to the positive stuff that make it pretty much it. Basically, we had two forms of consciousness. You was either going to church to get some type of consciousness, or you was listening to some conscious hip hop. All right, and that's what was waking you up and make you think, "Ooh, look at this! It's a better life." Look, that was my baby steps. I guess that was my axe seek knock, and now look where I'm at now. But anyway, now I done hit enlightenment and all that stuff. But side note, so that's why I got passionate about it. And not only that, I was still like the art of the music, the beats, the wordplay, all of that. But why it had such an impact on me in my life is because of those messages, man. Tupac's messages, Jay-Z's messages, Nas's messages, real hip hop people. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I got passionate about it. Those messages. And that's why I was doing in my music, and that's why I'm doing now. And to me, that's expressing all of these chakras of who you are, or the spirit. Your spirit is expressing it into the world. Like I was doing it in my music, and now I'm doing it like this. It's just a different vehicle that I'm using, because there's a market for this, People don't want to really listen to that music though. I mean, some people do. Don't get me wrong, they do. But not mainstream people. And then it's just like, I don't know, but that's like way, way more competitive than this. This is competitive. But like I said, you can do whatever you want, but like I said, don't be afraid to transition. And I was afraid to transition, boy. I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I mean, this was still intriguing. I did want to do this, but music was my thing, and I already had momentum in it. But I'm talking too much. Now, how can you channel that deeper passion into something else and combine it with your why and your gifts and your personality? Just put all of it together. All right. So number 5 is the zone of genius. Zone of genius is pretty much. Let me see what I got written down. Ugh, camera's gonna die. That one probably already done for. So your zone of genius is, what do you do just because you want to do it? All right. This is how you're gonna figure out your zone of genius. You can ask yourself that. What do you do just because you want to do it? All right. And then, what do you do that make time cease to exist? Like when you're doing it, you lose track of time. Like, dang, that was 3 hours. Oh, I've just been sitting here for 8 hours doing this. That's a good clue that you're in your zone of genius. It's something that you're passionate about as well. That's how I was when I was making music. That's how I was when I was designing MySpace pages. I used to hook people's stuff up. What are you doing when you're at your best? Like when you're doing something, you're like, I got this. What is it that you're doing? That's another good clue to what your zone of genius may be. Now, we're going to hop into some of these actual questions, these 5 questions that really got me to understand what it was I wanted to do for a living, what my calling was. And this is the thing, guys, like I said before, it might be your calling now for the next 10 years, 20 years maybe. But who knows? Like, you can always ask yourself these questions, do some more self-awareness, and see if you ever feel like this again, That's all. Nothing is stagnant, all right? Everything in life is always changing. It's evolving. Nothing is linear, all right? Don't think, feel. Let's get to these 5 questions. This is a long video. Also, download. I took a life purpose course from actualize.org, and it came with this Zone of Genius worksheet. I'm going to share it with you for free. It's in the description below. And this is what it should look like. Combine that which you love with that which the world needs, or some segment of the world, and also combine it with that which you can be paid for and that which you're good at. And you want to get that little star in the middle. That's kind of like your purpose, so to speak. But honestly, our purpose is to live, breed, and die. But if you're trying to find like some type of something to do and get paid and do something that matters to you and that matters to the world, this is a good diagram. This is what it should look like. You know what I'm saying? Like once you come up with that one thing, listen to this. Once you come up with that one thing, it should be able to fit all of these. All right. So don't try to list I mean, you can. I try that, but I ain't really find that to work too good for me until after I already thought of something and then I made it fit, made sure it fit in all of these. I'm like, okay. So yeah. All right. So the first question that I want you to sit down, take at least, look, don't give yourself a time limit. Don't just take as much time as you need to answer these 5 questions. I know I've been talking a lot. It already seemed like a lot, but like I said, what you got to lose? All right, make it fun. You ain't got to do it all in one sitting. Anyway, what have you been doing for the past 5 to 10 years? I asked this question because you might already have momentum in something, might be good at it, might be passionate about it. And maybe, I don't know, like me, I got a job and I just stopped making music. So it's just a question to ask yourself. You know, is this case you want to follow momentum? All right, question number 2 is, got to cut that out. That was nasty. Question number 2, what do you talk about on a Saturday night? And this is going to show you what you're interested in, like what really intrigues you and what you probably passionate about again. Like me, I've always been talking about what I be talking about. I like to talk about all the books I read, personal development stuff, sometimes money stuff. Pretty much what I talk about here, you know, what I talk about on my YouTube channel, my podcast. But I talk about it to my friends who don't want to hear about this stuff. I'm like, dude, I can help you. I can't help nobody who don't want to be helped. No, it's like, what's the, anyway, shut up, you know. But whatever you talk about on a Saturday night, you talk about it to your friends or your family, they don't want to hear about it. Don't just ignore that. Another thing, like if you're trying to figure out, like, man, I don't know what I want to get into, go to your Google history. What do you look up all the time? What are you always reading about? All right. Question number 3 is about your undeniable gifts and your talents. Undeniable. All right. So what do strangers and your friends compliment you on? What do your enemies even compliment you on? And if your enemies compliment you, saying you good at something, then you know that it's undeniable. All right. That's just something that you're naturally blessed with. If your enemy's going to compliment them. So, yeah, I'm going through these questions fast, but like I said, take your time. Now, these are the pre-worldly influence dreams. What I mean by that is before the world got to us, you know, before doubts, fears, limiting beliefs got to us, what did you want to be when you was a teenager? What did you dream? That's when, like I said earlier, expand your mind to fit your dreams. When you was a teenager, you wasn't influenced by the world and all the stuff ain't mess you up yet. So that's something to think about. All right. So the last one is about passion. If money and time weren't an obstacle at all, what would you be passionate about doing or talking about every day? This is Ceasar, Business and Gravy. I hope I helped you. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. If this video helped you, and it better have helped you, man. I've been talking a lot. If this video helped you, and you know how to help somebody else, share the video. All right? Share it. And check the links in the description. It's a lot of stuff down there. There's going to be another domino for you to figure out what it is you're about to be doing in your life. How you about to affect people in the world. It's a good feeling, man. You know, you actually doing something that you care about and people care about, and you ain't just going to work for a check, and you don't know why you doing it other than the check. That ain't what you want to be doing. So, like I said, check the links below. Subscribe, like the video, share the video, comment, do everything. And I'll talk to you soon. Peace. Okay, so what this means is a lot of times we searching for happiness, right? But we know, well, maybe we don't know, but we know, we searching for happiness. But this is the thing about happiness. Usually, me personally, when I look back on life is when I can be like, oh yeah, I was happy at that time. It's like hindsight is 2020. So, but if you can like literally reverse time and go back to that time, you will realize like, yeah, there was times you were happy. There's a lot of good things happening for you, but you was also still experiencing other negative emotions. Meaning, we are humans. Well, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Okay, we human spiritual beings having a human experience. The human experience comes with happiness, sadness, frustration, grief, horniness, all this other type of stuff. So, yeah, we look for happiness and stuff, but like I said, we humans, so that's all that stuff happens. Okay, it's always going to happen. It don't matter. Like once you get that happiness that you're looking for, all the other stuff is still happening too. All right. Sometimes the negative stuff can last for longer periods of time, like depression could eventually occur, or the positive stuff could happen over a long positive time. You just feeling like you feel euphoric. But the thing is, we human, and we here to experience being a human. So, woosah, you know what I'm saying? Breathing some good ass prana, and just always try to, once you're going through this stuff, just be aware of this is what it is. All right. Some Eckhart Tolle type stuff. Yeah, video's supposed to be over. I don't know why I'm still going on, but I wanted to talk about that. But this video is like an hour long. What?